Okay, real quick. Opposite numbers. I know we've already spoken about opposite numbers, but I also want you to look at opposite numbers as negative numbers. Okay? So if I see a number like this just says 9. Now I know that the opposite of 9 is negative 9, which means that this little negative symbol means opposite. Okay? So when we were talking about the number lines earlier, and we said that if I am adding 3 plus negative 3, these are opposite numbers, okay? That means, again, I'm at 0. Here's 3. Here's negative 3. So if I'm this orange guy, and I start at 0, and I walk to 3, I end up right here, right? This is 3. Now, if I'm adding a negative 3, that means I'm going in the opposite direction because negative 3 is the opposite of 3. So now I went to the left and I ended up at 0. And that is my answer of 3 plus negative 3. Remember, if I add two opposites, I get 0. Now with subtraction, it's very similar. So let's look at this. Let's say I have 3 minus negative 3. Okay. And I want you to think about this versus 3 minus 3. Well, if I'm doing 3 minus negative 3 versus 3 minus 3, let's look at the bottom one first. Okay. Here's 0. Here's 3. Now, my starting point is 3. So if I'm at 0 again, I went to 3. Okay? And then I'm subtracting 3, meaning I'm taking 3 away. Well, if I was at 3 and then I took 3 away, I go back 3 and I'm back at 0. Okay? Because this means go to the right 3. And then when I subtract 3, that means go to the left 3, right? That's what we did. That's what we did right here when we were looking at this. Right here. We went to the right 3, and then we went to the left 3. Okay? Now, let's look at the top problem. I have 3 minus negative 3, or you can think about it as 3 minus the opposite of 3. Okay, so here's 0 again, and here's 3. Well, same thing. We're starting at 3, which means we start from 0 and go to 3. We went to the right 3. And then if we look at the second problem, okay, when we subtracted 3, we went to the left. Well, now we're subtracting the opposite of 3. Well, what's the opposite of left? The opposite of left is right. So when you subtract a negative 3, you're actually going to go to the right 3 more, and you're going to end up at 6. So the answer to 3 minus negative 3 is 6. And I want you to think about a shortcut. Anytime you see a minus sign followed by a negative sign, I want you to automatically understand that if I have a minus sign and a negative sign, that changes into a plus sign. Okay, they combine to give me a plus. So in other words, if I say 3 minus negative 3, this is the same thing. Remember, equals means the same as me saying 3 plus 3. Okay? Subtracting a negative, like we're doing here, is the same thing as adding a positive. So, that being said, if I have 5 minus negative 2, if I have negative 6 minus negative 3, and if I have 10 minus negative 22. First thing I want you to do is change these subtraction problems into addition problems. What is the equivalent expression of 5 minus negative 2? What is the equivalent expression of negative 6 minus negative 3? What is the equivalent expression of 10 minus negative 22? Pause the video, complete it, and then let's look at it. Okay, so 5 minus negative 2, same thing as 5, plus 2. Negative 6 minus negative 3 is the same thing as negative 6, plus 3. And 10 minus negative 22, or the opposite of 22, is 10 plus 22. And now it's easy. This is all very easy. Okay? 5 plus 2 is 7, which means 5 minus negative 2 is 7. Negative 6 minus negative 3 is the same thing as negative 6 plus 3. And negative 6 plus 3 is negative 3. Then we have 10 minus negative 22. Remember, I combine the minus and the negative, and it gives me a plus. And I get 10 plus 22, which gives me 32. And now we're all happy. Yay.